Hey everyone. Well, we got a hell of a mess going on right here. So I just want to touch on some of the things that are playing out right now as we move closer towards the inauguration. Okay, so we have the fake news uh, psychological operation playing out thanks to the Central Intelligence Agency and their close friends, the corporate media. They are, in fact, one and the same, just as I mentioned in my previous video. We, of course, had the recount, the Jill Stein recount, which was largely funded by Soros and a lot of Clinton supporters. Had very little to do with Jill Stein. Let's see, we have the censoring of the internet going on. Now, there's a few members of Congress trying to get some sort of a bill passed, but I do not see that happening because you don't want to be a politician running for re-election and having your opponent be able to hit you on the censoring issue. You don't want to vote for something like that. That can be very damaging to you politically. There'll be a few of the establishment Democrats who are in safe seats, who maybe even a couple Republicans who would sign on to that, but you simply won't get the votes on a censoring bill. I don't believe that'll happen. I believe that there probably will be an effort to do some censoring of independent media, but I think that will come from the bureaucrats who are largely unaccountable in Brussels. So that's an area we will certainly have to fight. It's kind of hard to fight if you're an American to fight the ruling elite in Brussels, but we can certainly bring pressure in any way that we possibly can, and we're going to have to, because I can promise you that's coming. And then, of course, we have the Electors, this program that's now running to try to get the electors to reject Trump and try to, I guess, keep him from being president. That will largely fail as well. In fact, I believe that all these things will pretty much fail. It's almost like they're just taking a scoop into a big bucket of shit and then spreading it against the wall, slamming it against the wall, and seeing if anything sticks. Again, I don't see any of these things really sticking too much, but I think the overall end game here is to de-legitimize Trump's presidency before he even takes office. Therefore, crippling him or paralyzing him from being able to move forward on his agenda. And I think that that's largely what all these things are about. I really don't seriously think that the whatever these electors do, if they try to overturn the election, I think even Democrats understand that is a road you do not want to go down. That is the people who voted for Donald Trump would certainly revolt in some way, and that's something that could get very out of hand in a real hurry. And you also have to remember, if you're the establishment, you have to think about where the military and the police stand on that issue. Donald Trump is very popular with police and the military. And so there's a lot of danger for the establishment in going down that road. And I don't think they will. Again, I think it's all just to de-legitimize Trump and to try and paralyze him. And this will continue. But I think that's where things are right now, because you have so many things just being thrown out there. Largely, all of this stuff is going to be proven, such as Russians hacking the election. That's going to be proven, of course, not to be true. Of course, right now we're getting what we always get, again, from the Central Intelligence Agency, which is, yeah, we've got the proof, but we can't show it to you because then we'll give up our methods to the Russians. The humorous thing about that being, if we have these methods and we are using them, and the Russians were able to, or the Chinese or whoever, were able to hack into our elections, despite the fact that the voting machines are not even connected to the internet, but assuming that somehow the Russians and Chinese were able to defeat our methods and accomplish the goal anyway, then what the hell does it matter that you reveal your methods? They don't work. Okay? But again, they don't have the evidence. We're not going to see the evidence because it doesn't exist. again, it's just another scoop full of shit that they can throw against the wall to de-legitimize Trump, because they really can't prove any of this stuff. It's just a big psychological operation. This is all it really is, coming from our good friends at the Central Intelligence Agency and their close friends, the corporate media, who are all part of the establishment. So, you know, the establishment lost, the people won, and they're awfully nervous because we don't really know what Trump is going to do. What if Trump decides that he's going to release all of the JFK material that we have that's being held back until 2037? There's a lot of people still living who were part of either the operation to assassinate Kennedy and to cover it up. There's still plenty of people alive who were part of that. And the Central Intelligence Agency and the FBI were both complicit in the cover-up and probably part of the operation. So what if he decides to do something like that? What if he decides to open up a new 9/11 investigation and release all that information? What if he decides that he doesn't like the programs that the CIA are running in, say, Ukraine or Syria or Iraq or anywhere else, and he decides to rein them in? What if he decides to clean house at the CIA? So there's a lot of people in the establishment who are very, very nervous. They have a whole lot to lose. And I think that they realize that they can't really stop Trump from being being inaugurated and taking charge on January the 20th. I think they know they can't really stop him without taking us down a very dangerous road. So I think the next best thing that they have to hope for is that they can paralyze him and delegitimize him. And I think that's what we're looking at. So that is where the fight is right now. But we still have to stay two-fisted to the very end, because these are people who will never, ever quit. Therefore, we can never, ever quit. It's a fight every day, and we're all in it. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Share this video with your friends if you like that. Give me a thumbs up. I love always to hear your comments. And got to get back out here and shovel some more snow. It's one of them days where they said the snow would turn to rain. Again, the weather, they can't predict the weather 4 hours out, let alone predict climate change for 20, 30, 40 years in the future. They can't even get the snow situation correct. So I went out and shoveled my driveway and my walkway this morning, and because most of the snow I thought had come down, they said it was going to change over to rain. But since it didn't change over to rain and it's continued to snow like crazy, huge snowflakes, now my driveway and my walkway are completely covered up again with another 2 to 3 inches of snow. So I'm going back out to shovel my driveway for the second time today. Thank you very much, Weather Channel, my local weather. You guys are just absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much. All right, y'all. Take care.